All right, y'all. So today we got a video from the Bible Project. It's labeled "The Book of Job's Wisdom on How God Runs the World." Now, me personally, I haven't read the Book of Job yet, but I do kind of have a firm understanding of like the summary of what was going on in the Book of Job. He had everything, lost it all, and gained it back. Just kind of like a Sparks Note version of the Book of Job. But I want to see what this video has to entail for the knowledge or the wisdom of the Book of Job, because I'm pretty sure they go into much more deeper stuff than I could possibly do. Go into right now since I haven't read the book yet. But right now I just kind of want to get a firm understanding, and maybe this might help you guys out. For instance, so if you already read the book and you're still kind of having questions or doubts or of anything in the book, maybe this video will help you out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started.
There are three books in the Bible known as the wisdom literature: Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. The first, Proverbs, showed us that God is wise and just.
Yeah, we learned that God has ordered the world so that it's fair. The righteous are rewarded, the wicked are punished. In other words, you get what you deserve.
But then we meet Ecclesiastes, who observes, people don't always get what they deserve.
Yeah, he said the world isn't always fair, that life is unpredictable and hard to comprehend, just like smoke.
And this makes you wonder, okay, well, is God wise and just?
Exactly. And so it's that question that is being explored in the final book of wisdom, Job.
All right, let's dive in.
So Job begins with a strange story that takes place up in the heavens, which are described something like a heavenly command center. So God is there with these angelic creatures called the sons of God, and they're all there reporting for duty.
And God points out this guy Job, his servant, showing how righteous and good he is.
And then one of these angelic creatures approaches. He's referred to in Hebrew as the Satan.
The Satan. Who is this?
Well, this word is actually a title, which literally means the one who is opposed. So out of this whole crew, he is the one questioning how God is running the world. And he proposes that Job might not actually love God, that he's only a good person because God rewards him. If God were to take away all of the good things he gave to Job, then we would see his true colors.
So he thinks Job is just working the system?
That's exactly right. Maybe he's obeying just to get what he wants.
So
That's kind of wild to see like your true intentions on a like bro's literally praying on his downfall right now. Man is doing with the will of God, and he's just living life according to what the will of God is encountering or telling him. And Satan over here is trying to pray on his downfall, letting him know like, hey, he's only in it for the money. He's only doing it for the looks, for the popularity. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely wild.
God agrees to this experiment and allows the Satan to inflict suffering on Job.
And Job loses everyone and everything that he cares about. It is devastating. And remember, he deserves none of this. God himself said so.
The remarkable thing is that in the midst of all this suffering, Job still praises God.
At least for chapters 1 and 2. But then in chapter 3, we find out how he's really feeling inside. He unleashes this poem that reveals this devastation. It's a long, elaborate curse on the day that he was born.
After this, some of Job's friends come to visit him to offer their help. And all of them are like, Job, you must have done something horribly wrong to deserve this. After all, we know God is just, and we know the world is ordered by God's justice and fairness, so you must be getting what you deserve.
And for the next 34 chapters, the friends and Job go back and forth in very dense Hebrew poetry. His friends keep speculating about why God might have sent such suffering, and they even start making up lists of hypothetical sins that Job must have committed. But after each accusation, Job defends his innocence.
And Job is innocent.
He is. He's also on an emotional roller coaster. At some moments, he's very confident that God is still wise and just.
Yeah, in other moments, he's doubting God's goodness.
He even comes to accuse God of being reckless, unfair, and corrupt. So by the end of the dialogues, Job demands that God come and explain himself in person, and God does so. He comes in the form of a great storm cloud.
Now, God doesn't give Job a direct answer. He doesn't tell Job about the conversation with the Satan.
Yeah, he does something very different. He takes Job on a virtual tour of the universe. He shows Job how grand the world is, and he asks him if he's even capable of running it or understanding it, just for a day. He shows Job how much detail there is in the world, things that we might see every day, but really don't understand at all. But God does. He knows it all intimately.
That's a really good point right there. This universe is very vast. It's very vast. It's very big, and we don't know anything about it. So for us to even question God and His almightiness is no point in it at all. Honestly, we should be thankful that we are here, that we are living, that we are, having the chance to at least obey a very loving and living God. So much so that we shouldn't question Him at all, literally. So I feel like I guess I could say like what most people go through on a day-to-day basis who are Christians, I guess I could say, is, if we do the will of God and we do the His will, what He wants us to do, and there is reward for us, but I mean, life is very unpredictable, very consequential. Like you literally can't predict anything, and it's spotty sometimes because you'll be doing so well and then out of nowhere something will go bad. But I mean, I look at it like this: I thank God for all the good, and I thank God for all the bad. I mean, because literally I have no control over what happens. Sometimes the bad things ended up being good for me. I remember when I wrecked my car when I was 18, freshly graduated out of high school. 2 days after my graduation, I got in a bad car wreck, totaled my car, and I had to work 2.5 months to get a brand new car. But I mean, that work, that grind that God put me through to having to bike myself to work every day, catch rides to work every day for that summer at least, it taught me a very valuable lesson about praising and holding the things valuable that you don't usually have, or not usually have, but that you you don't see, you don't cherish something until it's gone. It's kind of like it's that kind of thing. But yeah, he taught me a very valuable lesson about taking care of things and working hard for it again. So I mean, I thank God for all the good and the bad, but I think that's just something that we should all take within our hearts and apply it to our lives, because at any moment anything could happen, really. So that's just my 2 cents about it.
Pays attention to the beauty and operations of the universe in ways that we haven't even imagined and in places that we will never see.
Then to conclude, God shows Job 2 wondrous beasts and brags about how great they are.
Yeah, they are dangerous. I mean, they would kill you without even thinking about it. And God says they're not evil. They're actually a part of His good world.
And then that's it. That's God's whole defense. It's kind of weird. I mean, what was this all about?
It seems to be this. From Job's point of view, it looks like God is not just. But God's perspective is infinitely bigger. He's dynamically interacting with a whole universe of complexity when He makes decisions. And this is what God calls His wisdom.
So Job asking God to defend himself is actually kind of absurd.
He couldn't comprehend this kind of complexity even if he wanted to.
So where does this leave us?
Well, it leaves Job in a place of humility. He never learned why he suffered, and yet he's able to live in peace and in the fear of the Lord.
But that's not where the book ends, because after this, God restores to Job double everything he had lost. And this, again, is surprising. I mean, is this a reward? Is God saying, congratulations, Job, you passed this elaborate test?
No, I mean, the whole book just made the point that Job losing everything was not a punishment, and so now getting it back isn't a reward.
So why does he get it back?
Well, apparently, God, in His wisdom, decided to give Job a gift. We don't know why. But what we do know is that Job is now the kind of person who, no matter what comes, good or bad, he can trust God's wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the book of Job, and the end of our wisdom series.
These biblical books of wisdom are amazing.
Okay, so there's a whole series. I didn't know about that, the whole series. But yeah, we should all do better to try and trust in God's wisdom, you know, good and bad. You know, I pray every day. I try to pray every day, and I just pray for, like, the main thing that I kind of pray for me personally is, you know, more wisdom, grace, more understanding, and, you know, I obviously ask the Lord to forgive me, but I think the biggest thing for us to take away from this video, at least, is to trust in the Lord, have faith, and just to ask for more wisdom, and to trust that God, whatever he puts us through, whatever trials and tribulations that you're going through right now, is for the betterment of your character development. And I think that's pretty much about it, though, honestly. I mean, there's no other reason for us to not trust in God other than, you know, him taking away our things in our life. You know, if anything, he's teaching us a lesson about what to hold on to and to just what to cherish and to praise him and to follow him and to love him. Trust in the will of God, and I believe that he will restore everything tenfold. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents about it. Get in the comments. Like this video if you haven't already. Share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Been the boy Benjamin the Disciple. See you in the next one. All right. Peace. God bless you.